One thing that people fail to understand is that alcoholism or alcohol use disorder actually has very little to do with alcohol itself. Now, the origins of why someone drinks can be as varied as the people who do suffer from this malady. Okay, one of the biggest ones is family culture and hereditary issues, which actually results for about 50% of the reasons why people drink. There's two genes, ADH1B and ALDH2, which are two specific genes that give someone a predisposition to become an alcoholic or an addictive personality. Now, you mix that with family culture when you grow up in an area where it's normalized to drink, parents drink, siblings drink, grandparents drink, or just you're surrounded by, we drink, why aren't you drinking? There's a high probability that that child is going to have issues later in life, especially if they have a predisposition mixed with hereditary issue. Not always. We do have we do have the ability to choose and what we do with our life, but there's just a higher probability that it could result into a deeper problem. And then there are more emotionally based origins of alcohol use disorder, things like trauma, in childhood, stress. There's a lot of stress-related reasons, depression, anxiety, repressed emotions. There could be, dual personality disorder, bipolar. There could be dual reasons why people drink. These are all the origins of why someone goes down that particular road. A lot of times it's escapism, running from something that they don't want to deal with, which is really part of human nature. If you had a really bad traumatic event in your life when you were younger, that will carry into your adulthood if you allow it. And if you're covering it up with alcohol and the band-aid of alcohol, the temporary band-aid of alcohol, that can later develop into drinking issues, addiction, and further physical and mental problems down the road. And then we can't forget the things that go along with family culture, which are, of course, peer pressure. Peer pressure is part of family culture, but there's also peer pressure when someone is going through their formative years in high school, in college. Between the ages of 13 and 20 is when most people start their alcoholic career. And unfortunately, most people grow out of that when they get in their mid 20s to late 20s. They go on, they have careers, jobs, they start families, but there is a segment of the population that continues along with the binge drinking and the continued drinking, and a lot of that started because of family pressure and peer pressure and just the environment that someone grew up in. And you mix that with the anxiety and the stress and the trauma, you have a toxicity of someone having a serious problem with alcohol use disorder. Then there is also things that go along with the stress and anxiety of just growing up. That could be a personality quirk. I mean, you could be an introvert, and a way to cover that and to come out of yourself is to drink alcohol in social settings. A lot of people have social anxiety, and alcohol will cover that up, mask that, and so a person is much more comfortable in their own skin. And if you get used to that on a regular basis, certainly in the social situations of high school and college, for example, it's a toxicity, and it's where many people begin their journey down the road of alcohol use disorder. Now, there's also situational issues like divorce, loss of a job, a family member dies. Life happens, and sometimes those stresses and those high anxiety moments in our life can be a catalyst for alcoholism. Sometimes it's temporary, but sometimes it develops into something much worse. And then there are a few that aren't quite as common. Someone might have a mental or physical disability. I mean, somebody could be in a wheelchair, and just being confined can cause somebody to overdo drugs or alcohol. Some could have some mental issues, depression, anxiety, high anxiety, where it's actually gripping. Someone could have agoraphobia. There are phobias that can be a catalyst for alcoholism. And I hope that makes sense. Again, I go live Monday through Friday, right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We also have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Link is in the bio. And when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, we schedule a breakthrough call. Call takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We do a deep dive, what's going on with you and your family, and then we go over the program. I want to make sure you and your family are a good fit. And I only like to take people who are ready to change their life. The call is free. The coaching program is definitely not. But it's designed for you to get there when everything else isn't working. And again, thanks for listening.